Hi there. Today we are going to look at an interesting thing in my collection. I picked this up a couple of years ago at the MIT Flea, and well, it's interesting. It's a blinkenlights panel from a computer. And the interesting thing is, it is from a company that some of you may have indeed heard of, but probably never knew they made computers. Back in the 60s, they made small mainframes and then went into minicomputers. And that company, here's the logo, AM, Addressograph, Multigraph. Now, it's actually a very, very old company, or was a very old company. I think there are remnants of it still around today, but they date from the 1800s. The late 1800s, that is, and their claim to fame, their big thing, which made them kind of a big deal for business back in, well, the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, was the addressograph part of the name. Their business was dealing and making machines that dealt with mailing lists. And I don't have one of those machines. I've never seen a complete machine because talk about an obsolete technology. These machines would store mailing lists for customers on little metal cards, and the addresses were stamped into the metal, and you'd run it through one of these addressograph machines, and it would address all your letters or catalogs or whatever. It was a mailing list machine. Now, it was sort of maybe in the cards that this company would get into computers because, hey, they're already kind of dealing with databases. Yes, on funny little metal cards. These little cards, these metal cards were just sheet steel, basically, with the actual lettering embossed in, and it was more or less like a printing block. I've seen them. They tend to be about an inch tall and about 4 inches wide. Real cheap sheet metal. But a company, if a company had a large mailing list, they might have thousands of these metal tags, these cards. And the addressograph machines, well, they would basically deal with these cards and stamp the envelopes or address the envelopes. So anyway, in the 60s, Addressograph, Multigraph, they merged with several companies along the way, decided to get into computers because, hey, they're dealing with databases already, more or less. And so I came across this and said, oh, that's interesting. I've seen that logo. Another place that Addressograph was kind of known for was dog tag machines. The military bought them. Yeah, those were the machines that made the dog tags for the soldiers and sailors and Marines and such like that. It's the same technology. Sheet metal, you stamp information into the sheet metal. And there actually are some dog tag machines kicking around in museums. I think they've got a working one at the Pampanito out in San Francisco. That's a submarine. Kind of neat. Highly recommended. Go see it. Anyway, let's look at their, at least a piece of one of their computers. It's the processor control panel, as you can see down here. And let's analyze it, because there's very little information on the web about addressograph machines. Just little bits and pieces and snippets from magazines that have been put online and things like that. They did start out making small mainframes in the 60s. You could probably call them mainframes. It's a little hard to say. They mostly, I think, made the processors, but purchased the tape drives. That was fairly common. I'd like to find out more information about the company and what they had, but like I said, it's very sketchy. So this here panel, let's just kind of take a look at it. We've got these these push buttons, which are clearly lights. And, you know, I'm going to raise this up a little bit so you can see it a little better. I'm going to use a Western Electric tube socket to just, that's a little better. Yeah, just like that. Register buffer and memory buffer register. And the interesting thing about the register buffer is, well, okay, not counting the reset button. You got to have one of them. 12-bit machine? I don't know. 12-bit registers? I guess. Okay. However, we have this memory buffer register as well, which is 4 bits. So what's the data path of this machine? I don't know. I'm going to guess 12 bits, but maybe this 12 is only for addressing, and you append these extra 4 on, so it's actually a 16-bit machine. I don't know. Over here we have register I/O, so I guess this is how you display and enter. Yeah, clearly, you know, if you want to display something, I guess you tag it in and pop, and it'll show you what it is. And we have MA, MD, AC, and PC. We can kind of address, memory data, accumulator, and program counter. Let's see, what else do we have? Well, obviously, actually quite a few reset buttons, actually. I guess this is the real reset switch here, system reset. I guess these are for just resetting the switch registers up here. Run, halt, bootstrap, single instruction. I guess it's probably for maintenance type of stuff. You know, so you can step through memory, read memory, write memory. Sense 1, sense 2, who knows? Who knows? And then over here, I guess we could probably think that might be for interrupts, allow and inhibit. Of course, a key too. Don't know. And then memory bank, 0, 1, 2, 3. I guess that's one of the most crude forms of memory management unit you can ever have, a rotary switch with 4 positions. So, I don't know. Let's kind of assume some things or think of some things here. Okay, well, maybe it is a 16-bit machine, and you use both rows here. And you can see there are actually numbers here, 0 through 11, 0 through 3. It looks like there was probably stickers or something. There's some schmutz on the front there. I have to clean that off eventually. I guess, you know, if you use this switch register for memory addressing, that would mean 4K addressing. And I guess if you have 4 memory banks, well, I guess you could have a 16K machine. I don't know. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Of course, leave things in the comments. Now, if I were to just look at this sort of looks early 70s to me. Just from the style of switches and the printing and things like that. Oh, and incidentally, Documentor was apparently a name they like to use for a lot of their machines, a lot of their mini computers and things like that. They were called documenters. But yeah, okay, this thing looks kind of 1970s. Oh, I should say there is on the top here, we can see the short loader. Someone has just kind of crudely taped on. God knows how long this has been around here, but yeah, it kind of looks like the loader. You know, we got the hex codes here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, apparently it's got an Addressograph Multigraph asset tag. So I don't know if this was a leased machine or if it is something that Addressograph actually used for themselves. Oh, and also, yes, there is this whopping great cable with kind of an oddball amp. Kind of a very, it's clearly for an edge card, you know, for a gold-fingered circuit board, but just kind of an interesting, odd connector I've never seen before. Weird, I don't know. This apparently plugged into the the box that actually held all the brains. There are some brains in here, but they're very hard to see. And let's open it up. Not the best fit and finish on this thing. Let's get you out of it. Oops, sorry. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wire wrap all over the place. And once again, this sort of screams early 1970s. There are a lot of chips there underneath. They're a right pain in the neck to get to the but looks like all a bunch of 14-pin dips. Maybe if we can go like this, we can show you. Yeah, we got some ceramic, so they spent a little money, I guess. Yeah, ceramic dips, a couple plastic dips, but most of those sockets are indeed populated. Interesting that they actually had on this actually kind of generic looking wire wrap board, they actually did silkscreen documenter there. And yeah, there's another one of these edge card things. Now I can't really see any date codes because, like I said, that's a right pain in the neck to get under there and look. I think I did that once when I first got this thing, and it took me forever to put back together. And yeah, there's all sorts of wires just waiting to break. But it does seem like this is from perhaps the late or the 73, 74, 75 or something like that. There are some part numbers here. I haven't been able to find any date codes. However, well, no, I guess I did find one date code, possibly. We do have a 7319 there, which, yeah, I guess that could be 1973. But yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, it's fairly high quality parts. These are the lit push button switches, and you know, it looks like they use some C&Ks and things like that. So, yeah, I guess here's the point where I ask any of you guys if you know anything about Addressograph multigraph machines, because I would certainly like to know more about this panel. I don't think I will ever become a collector of Addressograph multigraph machines because, one, they're apparently very thin on the ground. Was there? Yeah, actually, you know, there is actually a tag on here, and that does says Serial 230, Model PCP. And I have not found anything that says what the PCP is. Santa Ana, California. I guess that's where their computer division was. If any of you guys, maybe some of you guys that actually may have worked there back in the day, if you have any ideas about this, yes, please let me know. Because, well, I'd like to find out more. It's just a curiosity in my collection at this point. Am I ever going to do anything with it? Probably not, because I'll probably never get the rest of the system. But, you know, I want to know. So, all right. Thought I'd let you see this weird thing. Maybe get an answer to my many questions about it. If you like this video, hey, leave a like. Maybe share this around. In fact, if you share it around more, maybe we will connect with someone that actually did work at Addressograph, and maybe the guy that designed this. Who knows? But yeah, share it around. Leave comments. Yes, leave comments. If you know anything about this, leave a comment, please. And hey, yeah, maybe look at some of the past videos. I've got well over 100 now, I think. 110, 12, 16, somewhere around there. And got a few more in the works. So, all right. Until then, I shall see you later. Bye-bye.